Welcome back to Star Wars Week here on Fowley and T. We've reached day 5, which means we're only 2 days away until The Force Awakens. But before we get there, let's take a look back at the moments that made Star Wars as good as it is. These are the moments that defined movies, defined entire cinema-going experiences, and to us, even defined our very lives. These are the top 10 moments in all of the Star Wars saga. In at number 10, by no means a bad entry at all, it is the opening credits from every Star Wars movie. This music, this singular piece of music, defines an entire array of emotions when you're starting out these movies. It's joy, it's excitement, it's getting ready for the greatest story ever told. And of course, it doesn't hurt at all that the opening crawl is now one of the most iconic visions in all of the Star Wars saga, to the point of parody. This piece of music is so good that regardless of whether or not you have seen Star Wars, you know that that music means Star Wars.
At number 9 is perhaps the lowest point in all of Star Wars. That is the harrowing command from the Emperor himself to his clone forces. Execute Order 66.
That's a good impression.
Thanks. It just wasn't a good day to be a Jedi. They were wiped out in their thousands across the galaxy as the clone troopers they worked with so closely turned on a dime to their higher power. You saw the death of the Jedi, the birth of the stormtroopers, and the abandonment of all hope until a new one came along.
In at number 8, it's a slightly more calm moment from Star Wars, and one that really holds more visual merit than it does anything else. It's the vision of the twin sons of Tatooine. Now, this is an image that you see not once but twice in the Star Wars canon. At mirroring sides of Luke Skywalker's life, we first see it, if we're going chronologically in terms of release, as Luke is looking out over the twin sons of Tatooine, wondering where his life will take him, not knowing that that vision will then lead him on to become the greatest Jedi Master that ever lived. The other time we see it is, of course, when baby Luke is handed over to Owen and Beru Lars on Tatooine outside his homestead as the birth of a new hope for the galaxy is taking place. It is simply a beautiful image, and one that really stuck with me after watching those movies.
At number 7, we actually find the moment that pretty much ends the Star Wars saga in its current form, albeit, and that is the redemption of Darth Vader. There is a lot of things that happen in Anakin Skywalker's life. He's told to be the one that will bring balance to the Force, fulfilling an ancient prophecy. And anyone who's watched Star Wars knows that although he did a lot of diversions to get there, ultimately he kind of does. He does destroy the actual embodiment of evil by throwing the Emperor down a shaft in the Death Star, and finally get to see Anakin redeemed, partially, for all those terrible, terrible things he did under the guise of Darth Vader. It all comes to an emotional climax as he takes off the mask with his dying breath. He gets to look upon his son just that once with his own eyes, and we're happy to see that the Big Oaf got a little bit of closure in his final moments.
In at number 6, you could call this the actor's choice. This is the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. This is a scene, viewed out of context, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, that doesn't really hold a lot of weight. But when you understand the greater Star Wars universe, when you understand the path of both Palpatine and Anakin at this point, this becomes a scene that is so draped and thick with character development, subtlety, elegance, beautifully performed by Ian McDiarmid and not so beautifully by Hayden Christensen. This tells the tale of a great Sith Master who betrayed his master whilst killing him in his sleep. But listening carefully to this scene, you realise that it's just Palpatine's anecdote of how he killed his own master. It's a beautifully subtle scene that is really brought to life and really shows what it means to be a Sith, to be evil and conniving whilst also being calm and calculated and thinking 5 steps ahead of the enemy at all times. This might not be the greatest action scene or indeed the greatest scene in the movies, but it is the one that actually means the most in terms of the lore, and I think the true choice for anybody who's studying acting in these movies.
You can tell which one of us did the acting degree.
This guy.
Coming in at number 5, we have a moment that talks to a lot of what Star Wars is trying to teach you. Star Wars in its essence is trying to tell you that determination and willpower can overcome a lot of things. This is best captured in the moment when Yoda lifts the X-Wing with just the power of the Force out of the swamp on Dagobah. I say that it speaks for a lot of points in Star Wars because this is true of the rebellion trying to take down the Empire. This is true of the Jedis trying desperately to knock down the separatist systems and the overwhelming droid army. And it's just a small moment in the context of things. It is just lifting a spaceship out of the swamp, but it shows that Yoda is this tiny little being. To this naked eye, he's nothing but a little weak creature on this weird swamp planet. But yet, at his core, he's irrefutably good and determined and knowledgeable. And of course, it leads to one of the best lines in all of Star Wars. As Luke, amazed by what he has just seen, says that he doesn't believe it, Yoda simply replies, "That is why you fail."
Coming in at number 4, this is Yoda finally brandishing a lightsaber. This is a moment where I can tell that myself and a lot of people who saw this movie in the cinema as it happened went through a surprising array of emotions. First, a confusion. Why is Yoda here? What can Yoda do? How can Yoda help the situation? Then a slow realisation sets in as you realise that Yoda is one of the most powerful Jedis of all time. You see him do a brief force battle with Count Dooku, and then another realisation sets in. It's excitement. Count Dooku draws his lightsaber. Yoda pulls back his cloak. He reveals he has a lightsaber. He ignites it, and suddenly your brain has a rush of endorphins as you see Yoda finally take on Dooku mano a mano by doing the craziest fucking acrobatic shit anyone has ever seen. This little green man, this tiny little Kermit looking guy, takes on one of the most powerful Sith Lords in the galaxy, and he does it with style, with acrobatics, with one of the greatest displays that the entire saga has ever seen. You can't defend Episode 2 as a movie, but you can defend that moment as one of the reasons why the prequels aren't all as bad as they seem to be.
In conclusion, the bronze medal in our list goes to another point that's kind of a bit of a downer, in that you think one of the main characters is about to die. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. It is of course Han Solo getting frozen in carbonite. Thanks to the betrayal of Lando Calrissian, Han Solo is being turned over to the Empire. He's at the mercy of Boba Fett the Bounty Hunter. It seems like the walls are closing in on him once again, but this time there's not many ways he can get out of it. And ultimately, he doesn't. They actually go through with their plan. They actually freeze Han Solo in carbonite. It's a great image, it's a great fridge. But the reason why this is remembered is actually for the line prior to Han Solo going into carbonite. It is one of legend, of course, because it was improvised on the spot by Harrison Ford. Originally, the line was simply, I love you too. But that wasn't Han Solo enough. And in a split-second decision, as Leia utters the words, I love you, Han Solo replies simply with, I know. And that noise you can hear is the sound of everybody's pants tightening. Everybody's.
Even mine. In at number 2, and what might be a surprising upset for this list as it's another prequel moment. This is the moment on Mustafar after the deciding battle where Obi-Wan leaves Anakin for dead as he's set on fire. It's a very powerful image and a very powerful moment indeed. The very idea that these two friends have just fought each other to a near point of death, and Obi-Wan delivers a speech to Anakin as he's writhing around in the lava on fire without proper limbs. He delivers one of the most heartfelt speeches and at the same time one of the simplest speeches that Star Wars has to offer. It's a beautifully simplistic moment as Obi-Wan utters to Anakin, "You were the chosen one. It is said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them. It is said that you would bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness." And all the while Anakin is screaming, "I hate you," as he finally becomes, in all but image, the true terror that is Darth Vader. Although Anakin goes on to be the greatest character in Star Wars history, Obi-Wan certainly comes away with one of the best speeches of the entire Star Wars saga.
And leaves Anakin with not only not the high ground, but also not the high jump.
Oh, sick burn!
That's even worse!
It is!
Coming in at number 1, it is the obvious choice. It is Jar Jar's tongue being numbed by the pod racer beams.
What?
Of course I'm joking. It's I Am Your Father. What else is it gonna be?
This is a moment in cinema history that I don't think has ever been topped for its shock value, at least at the time. This was cinema's greatest plot twist for years and years to come. Again, in Star Wars tradition, going to the point of parody, where it becomes something that so many people are so used to. But despite some people's mistranslation of the scene, it is easy to see why this tops not our list, but pretty much everybody else's list on the entire internet. It's the moment that defines Star Wars, when you finally learn the relationship between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, when the bigger picture finally comes to fruition, and basically the entire reason that the prequel movies even exist.
It is the best moment in Empire Strikes Back, the best moment in the original trilogy, the best moment in the Star Wars saga, and the best moment in cinema history. Case closed.
Meeting adjourned. We're good, let's go.
Please, bye.
We forgot to finish the video.
We are on the internet, and without plugs we are nothing.
That is true. So you can go and watch another 4 Star Wars videos by going to our channel page with a link down there. You can also press the subscribe button whilst you're at it if you like this or anything else that we do. Over on SoundCloud, of course, we have got 5 podcasts you can go and listen to now. 1 for all the Star Wars movies leading up to The Empire Strikes Back, which is today's topic, would you believe it? And of course there's a lot more Star Wars stuff on fanstatement.com, so you can go there and see if you like that. And we'll catch you tomorrow on Star Wars Week, when we're entering the final few days towards The Force Awakens. We'll see you tomorrow. May the Force be with you.